Hey everybody,
Hello.
I'm Pastor Becca. I'm the new pastor at the United Community Church of Morrisville. And this is William.
Hello. I am Pastor Becca's son, and I'm amazing. So all of you, yeah.
We're really excited to get to meet you and to get to know you and to share some fun times together. Right now we have to do that through video and online, but we hope to get to meet one another in person sometime soon. One of the things you'll learn about William, especially as you get to know him, is that he loves to cook and bake. And I know many of
you guys will thank me for that later, trust me.
many of you will have the opportunity to enjoy that at some point, the fruits of that at some point together. Today we're going to try something that I've never tried before, William's never tried before. We're going to start a bread dough starter, a sourdough starter.
San Francisco makes sourdough that's really, really good.
Right, it's one of the things they're known for.
So they take some of the yeast that they use, and they put it in a little bag.
Well, that doesn't look like very much.
No,
I'm told like that is all the yeast that we're going to need, kind of ever, for our sourdough bread. But it says the first thing we need to do is to put in a medium mixing bowl. Here's our medium mixing bowl.
It's clear so you can see what's going on.
There we go. We're going to place 3 cups of plain all-purpose flour. That's in here, and that's a half cup measure. So let's put 3 cups in, and I gave you a knife to level it off if you want. So you want to be pretty precise with this, at least at first. So you're going to need 6 of those.
Please stand by.
All right. 3 cups of that. That is going to be quite a bit of flour.
Three. 4. 5. And 1 more.
All right. So 6 cups.
6.
Whoa. Okay. 6 half cups or 3 cups of flour. Now we can really see that
That seems like not a lot of yeast.
Not a lot of yeast
Doesn't
for
seem like enough
for quite all that flour, huh?
all that flour.
And then after we put that in, we add water. So let's see. Add 3 cups of tap water. Doesn't say what temperature, so I think just kind of the temperature that it comes out, not too hot, not too cold. So 3 cups says up there of water.
Wow!
That's a lot of water. And then we'll add the yeast. I don't know, William. This is a very small amount of yeast.
I know.
Are you sure they sent us enough?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure that such a small amount of anything could really do much. What do you think?
I mean, very rarely, but only sometimes it can.
What do you think? Do you think that this is going to be enough yeast to do anything? Apparently it's supposed to grow and make more of itself. All right, let's go ahead and add that in and see what happens. This is a medium mixing bowl, apparently. Okay, now we have 3 cups of water and 3 cups of flour. That's definitely a lot of to-be bread dough. And now we add the yeast.
It's just a tiny amount of yeast.
All right.
I'm sure we just need to add some of our own yeast.
It says definitely not to add anything other than flour and water. So we'll follow the directions, but I don't know. Okay. Adding just that very small amount of yeast. Boy, I hope it's enough. Okay, and now we stir it. And it says a little lumpy is okay, but stir it together until it's kind of smooth. And we'll cover it and check it every little bit to see if there are bubbles. The bubbles are going to tell us that
the yeast is like doing its work, I guess.
yes, that it's alive and that it's starting to reproduce and make more yeast out of that tiny amount of yeast. Now, I think this is a great activity to help us think about God, because there's a story, there's a kind of an example Jesus gives in the Bible that is actually about yeast. And Jesus says that the kingdom or what it's like when God is in charge is like when you take a small amount of yeast and you put it in a batch of bread dough and knead it through and stir it up. It looks kind of like that.
I'm trying to
Knead it through and stir it up.
If there's any like flour clinging to any sides.
Right? And it somehow works its way through that whole bunch and it makes a difference. So we can remember that this tiny, tiny bit of yeast compared to all of that will make a difference. It's going to grow and make a difference in this bread. And that our lives, or the little bit of love that we put into the world, even though the world seems so big, our lives can make a difference, and the love we share can make a difference. What do you think about that?
Nice.
Nice. Well, let's come back and check on it a little bit later and see if we can notice any difference that small amount.
So
right, we're going to look for little tiny bubbles that grow. So we'll come back and check on it a little bit later.
all right.
All right, let's check on our sourdough and see how it's doing, if we think it's done yet. It's been a couple hours.
And voila! Look at this.
All right, I see some bubbles.
Yeah. Should be.
Let's give it a stir. I don't see bubbles throughout yet.
But it
Is it
is
stiff?
getting stiffer, yeah.
Oh, it's getting kind of stiff and doughy. So do you think that was enough yeast or not enough yeast?
I mean, I don't know. It's not making that many bubbles, but we'll see.
All right.
It does seem to be enough yeast, but it's not making too many bubbles really soon.
Okay.
It is time consuming to let it
Yeah.
make.
That's looking doughy
decent
though.
Sourdough, but yeah, this is looking doughy.
Okay, let's give it a little bit more time and see what happens.
All right.
Let's thank God, though, that a little bit of love goes a long way. Will you pray with me? God, we thank you for every time you remind us that even a tiny bit of love, even a tiny bit of your presence in the world, even the tiny, kind, loving things we do go a really long way to make a difference and to make change happen in a whole loaf of bread or in the whole wide world. We thank you for that reminder and help us. We ask you to help us to be loving and to do those small acts of kindness and love that will make a big difference. Amen.
Amen.
Blessings, everyone. See you
Bye.
soon.